Now turn to page 43.
Africa digs. Dr. Paul Sereno digs dinosaur bones. He gets a thrill when he digs up the bones of dinosaurs that lived millions of years ago. In 1997, Dr. Sereno led a dig in Niger, Africa. He took 18 scientists with him. The Tuareg tribe helped his team look for bones. The Tuareg people live in Niger. They know their desert land best. They know where to look for bones. The dig was a success. Dr. Sereno's team had a fantastic find. They found a new dinosaur. The Tuareg told them a legend about a very big animal. They call it Jobar. The Tuareg showed them where to look for the bones. The scientists named the dinosaur Jobaria. It means giant. How did they dig up the Jobaria? Dr. Sereno followed 10 steps to dig up Jobaria.
I want you to share one thing you learned from that section with the class. I learned that Dr. Sereno's team dug up a dinosaur in Niger, Africa. Now it's your turn. Share one thing that you learned.
Step 1. We've got some. The Tuareg lead the team to a special place. Bones stick out of desert rock. The Tuareg tell the scientists their legend. These bones belong to the giant beast Jobar. Step 2. Digging in. The dig begins. They use hammers, chisels, and drills. They work for 10 weeks. A huge skeleton emerges. It has been buried for 135 million years. 15 tons of rock cover it. The team carefully takes the bones from the rock.
I want you to share one thing that you learned with the class. During step 1 of the dig, the Tuareg tribe took Dr. Sereno to a dig location based on the legend of Jobar. Use this sentence starter to share what you learned about step 2. In step 2, now tell me what you learned.
Step 3. Wrap it up. They have to make jackets to protect the fossils. They cover the bones with paper or foil. They cut burlap strips and dip them in plaster. They wrap each bone with the burlap strips. First, they cover one side. The strip dries into a hard jacket. Then, they cover the other side. They number the jackets. They log each number in the dig's log. Step 4. Move it out. The team must take the bones to their lab in Chicago. 20 tons of bones have to be moved. Some weigh more than 500 pounds. There is no easy way to move them. They use a tripod, pulleys, rope, and a chain. They load the bones onto trucks. They drive 1,000 miles to a port in Ghana. They put the bones on a ship which takes them across the Atlantic. Then the bones are shipped to Chicago.
Now share one thing you learned with the class. Remember to use a sentence starter such as in the previous example.
Step 5. Unwrap it. The team carefully opens each piece and cleans each bone. They match the numbers on the jackets to the numbers in the dig's log. The bones are put in the right order. Now it's time to rebuild the skeleton. Step 6. Clean them up. This step takes 2 years and hundreds of hours. They use dental tools, tiny jackhammers, and chemicals. The work is careful and precise. they have to clean more than 200 bones. These bones came from the adult Jobaria, but they have some other bones as well. These are from young Jobaria. They clean these bones too.
Now share one thing you learned from this section with the rest of the class.
Step 7. And the missing pieces? They have good luck. They have almost all of the adult's bones. What about the ones that are missing? They fill in the missing bones by making them out of foam and clay. Step 8. Make a plan. All of the bones are clean. The missing bones are made. At last, they can make a model. From it, they create a blueprint. This is the plan to rebuild the skeleton. First, they lay out the tail bones. They place them in order. Next, they study how to put the bones back together. Now they can see the huge size of the dinosaur.
So what did you learn in this section? Again, try to use a sentence starter, such as in during step 7 or during step 8.
Step 9. Copy the fossils. Jobaria's bones are too heavy and fragile to put together. Dr. Serino's team wants to display the dinosaur. What can they do? They copy the skeleton. They make molds. They create copies of the bones. Step 10. Stack it up. They attach the casts of the bones to a steel frame. The hard steel frame is covered by the bones. Finally, share the discovery. They paint the casts to look like the real fossils. They are white with tints of green and red. These colors come from copper and iron in the soil. At last they pose the dinosaur. It looks so real. You can almost hear that dinosaur roar.
Now, I want you to share one thing that you learned that you will take away from the story in Nearpod.